Yo, what's up guys, Neon Blitz here, back with another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video. The Squadra Talk Season 5 has just aired, so I just want to break it down for everyone and just let you guys know exactly what's everything's coming for the game. The first thing that we need to talk about are the new Divine Draws coming. There's actually only one new Divine Draw being added, but two are being brought back from Season 1. The new Divine Draw is Healing Attack. Basically, and you can use your abilities that deal damage to enemies on your allies and will actually heal them. It kind of reminds me of Rogue's Team Up with Gambit in Marvel Rivals, if any of you play that, where, you know, Goku can fire Kamehameha Krillin and actually heal him, and I'd imagine still being able to damage the enemy while healing his teammates at the same time. And the healing's actually based on how much damage the move does. Now they talk about here, if you use auto-targeting, it will auto-target enemies first, but if you use manual, then you can override that to easily target your teammates. And they talk about how attacks that specifically need a target, like hit skill 2, cannot be used on your allies. So no free healing like that. It has to be kind of like a more free roam attacks, like a Goku Kamehameha, skill 2, the Meteor Smash, you know, maybe like I wonder if Krillin Mines would work. I doubt it, because that sounds kind of terrible if it would. But like Kefla skill 1, skill 2, Vegito skill 1, God Goku Beam, I'm mad those are all going to be able to heal your teammates. I don't know how I feel about this, considering they say the healing's based on the amount of damage the move actually does. Because I imagine a character like the Gammas, right? They're doing a bunch of big AoE attacks that deal good damage. So you're going to be doing damage to the enemy, you're going to be healing your team. And imagine how much damage a Core Breaker would do. To me, that's going to be like a full heal, which could be potentially very scary. The next two Divine Draws that they're actually bringing back is Cloud Cover, which I believe Cloud Cover just put more clouds around the map and made all the clouds bigger. And Super Damage Boost skill 1, which increases the amount of damage your skill 1 would do, which could be potentially pretty scary in this meta, just because Super Saiyan Goku's running around, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's running around, God Goku skill 1's really good, Vegito skill 1. There's a lot of good skill 1s right now, and imagine Frieza, Kid Goku, and Bulma, who are the new characters, are going to have strong skill 1s, so I imagine that's why they're bringing that up. But the three Divine Draws that are moving, is they're getting removed. They're removing Search Trap, which, you know, based on how they completed from the early on in the season, a lot of players are probably going to be happy about that. Medical Respawn, which I'm sure a lot of players are going to be happy with, because that was a pretty annoying Divine Draw. And School, Super Cooldown Reduction skill 2 is being replaced. But there is an elephant in the room, and I mean, I'm making this to thumbnail the video. I made this meme for it. Squeaky Hammer is still in the game. You thought you'd never see me again, didn't you? Well, too bad. I'm alive. The fact that they didn't remove Squeaky Hammer is insane to me. I'd imagine it's going to get nerfed to holy hell, like how they nerfed Medical Respawn during one of the patches. But the fact that it's still in the game, I'm sure it's going to upset a lot of players. The next two things are there are two helpers that we're getting this season, Bacterian and Karn. Bacterian is just the ranked reward for Season 5, and he's just a ranked reward reskin over Batamo for damage characters with push, which this might be the worst ranked reward yet. Not only is Bacterian disgusting, and I don't want to use this, you never use the push helper anyways, so you're never going to see it. This helper actually seems really interesting. Karin, they bring in an ability called Flag, where you can put Karin down, and enemies or allies in a range, you get this blue circle, get increased movement speed while running towards Karin. So you could do interesting plays like that, where you could put Karin at a God of Destruction, help your lane partner get back to lane faster. Maybe you could put Karin near an enemy God of Destructions to help your teammate run over there faster to push. Or they use this example in the video where a teammate's in a fight they're going to lose. They run away, they get the increased movement speed running to Karin, and they can now safely get back and heal. It seems like a pretty interesting helper. I'm interested to see exactly what the range is, what's the cooldown, how much movement speed actually works, and all that. Because this seems like a pretty good helper for technical, because the only technical characters are able to equip this helper. And here they say the Karin's from the Battle Pass, and Bacterian is from the ranked reward. So you got to get A rank overall on your player count to get Bacterian, which I don't know if that's really worth it. Karin is from the free Battle Pass, so you don't need to buy the Battle Pass for that. Next are updates to Land Grab and Finders Keepers sub-rules, which that's 2 seasons now that we don't have a new sub-rule. I'm wondering if they're done making new sub-rules, which that's a topic I can talk about for a different video, but at least for right now, they're updating land grab and fighters keepers. For land grab, they're saying that you get attack up during the circle, and if you actually die in the circle, it will take 1 second for you to respawn if you are killed in the plot. So you're just going to be fighting constantly. And maybe I think they didn't mention that there's a new map change, so maybe it's the same map from season 3, but that seems pretty interesting. I mean, having 1 second KOs, you're going to be fighting non-stop, and I'm wondering if you're actually going to be able to claim the plots at all. Next, they're bringing back Finders Keepers, which hasn't been in the game since season 2, where, this is kind of the search mode where you have to find 3 treasure chests, where one team has to find treasure chests and another team has to defend it. They're not making it so all attacks apply burning, so damage over time, and it gets reset basically from every attack that you do. So it's going to make it a lot harder make it a lot harder to run away, and you're going to be taking a bunch more damage from this damage over time. And they have changes. They're making changes to the Finders Keeper stages. I don't know if that means just the map, they're making change to one map, or if they're planning to introduce new stages for that. Then finally, I already talked about earlier, the 3 brand new characters coming to season 5 are Bulma, who surprisingly is a tank. I'm shocked that she's a tank. When I asked for Bulma in season 3, because I thought she could be a really cool and unique pick, I was thinking she should be a technical throwing capsules, but no, she's here as a tank, seemingly operating this car that we'll see later, and throwing capsules. Then we have Kid Goku, who is damaged. I'm sure a lot of players probably don't want another Goku being damaged, but I imagine it's going to take a bit till they actually respond to our feedback if we don't want characters being roll locked. So another damaged Goku, and he's riding around on Nimbus while Bulma's in her car, which I think is cool that they're showing us different ways for characters to move around the map, and it gives us more hope for characters like Roshi, Mr. Saiyan, who may not always fly. Yeah, Bulma's here in their car. She seemingly has a projectile, can spin. She can throw a capsule, which I don't know what exactly does, and I think this is her ultimate of she can quickly move around on the map and bring an ally with her and do the spin move that seemingly stuns, which that seems like a pretty strong ability, because we already know how much range and speed Paradox skill 3 can do. So having that as an ultimate, and the fact that you could bring an ally with you to quickly move around the map, I imagine it's not going to have a long cooldown, but that sounds very powerful, and the fact that Bulma's a tank is hilarious. Then the final character, never mind. Then we gotta talk about Kid Goku. He has rock, scissors, paper. Just seemingly does damage, has a Kamehameha, does damage. And then his ultimate is the Great Ape Fist that he does against Demon King Piccolo. Seems like a Dragon Fist, but instead of just firing a projectile Dragon Fist, it moves Kid Goku himself. And we can see some of their cosmetics and everything. Bulma has this funny finisher where she kind of tries to seduce a finisher, then the teammate kills him. Kid Goku has a legendary intro, which doesn't surprise me. And the final character, who's actually going to be the first character released, is Final Form Frieza. This game calls him Final Form Frieza. They specify later that they mean Final Form Frieza, and he is a technical. Again, I'm not too sure if players are going to be happy about that. Maybe they wanted Final Form Frieza to be a damage dealer, but the interesting thing is this Frieza does not transform at all. It doesn't transform into golden, doesn't transform into full power, so we can still get a damage full power Frieza and golden Frieza later. So I think this is a really cool pick, and his kit, once they actually describe it, is really cool. And we can see here the order the characters coming out. For the first form Final Form Frieza is going to be the first character coming out for the season. Then it's going to be Kid Goku, and then it's going to be Bulma as the last character. Thankfully we're getting 2 technical characters back to back, considering before Kid Buu our last technical character was season 2 with Ultimate Gohan. So I'm glad they're actually updating the roles, and we actually see some new skins coming out. We have a skin for Bulma, seemingly a skin for, I imagine that Super Saiyan Goku, like an oolong outfit for Kid Gohan. Kefla wearing Gine's outfit, which that's a really cool skin. We have Krillin wearing his Dynamic outfit. We seemingly have a rage skin for Frieza. Really cool. The picks for all these characters, I don't know. I imagine a lot of players may not be too thrilled or excited for this season, but I think these are all phenomenal picks, and the fact that they're all in the game is crazy. Yeah, here they say here, Four Form Frieza is being treated as Final Form Frieza, so that's telling us they're going to be the same character. And they say here Frieza's going to be the first character released, so Frieza's going to be coming out sometime next week. And they see here, this is what actually makes me really excited for Frieza, that Frieza is a technical character that can make walls on the stage and restrict enemy movement. And we see here that Vegeta seemingly gets isolated from Piccolo and Gohan and now stuck in like a 1v1 with Frieza. Now, I'm not too sure if you can destroy this wall, if teammates can destroy it, or major metallics can destroy it, or if this is just a long-lasting wall. Obviously, I imagine creators in the Squadra content creator program have access to Frieza's full kit at this point. So we'll see what exactly the text says, but this is very fun. You know, this reminds me of Crustle from Pokemon Unite, where Crustle could put up the wall. That was a very fun character, so I'm glad that we're getting characters that can also apply walls here. And here's his passive. Seemingly, he does more damage to enemies that are facing away from him. And his ultimate puts up another wall that you can see here. Gohan and Piccolo try to go through the wall, and they get pushed back. They cannot go through this wall at all. So you can like isolate someone instantly, maybe secure a kill. Or maybe, what if you put a wall in front of a boss and now the enemy team can't secure it at all? And they say here that if an obscure enemy tries to go through it, they'll get stunned as well and pushed back. So this could be easily setting up for his passive, that where he does more enemy or damage to enemy facing away. He seemingly has a death beam as an ability. So you'll see that here. Look at his intro. And those are the 3 characters. Very cool picks. I'm excited for all of them. I know a lot of players may not be might be mostly excited for Bulma or Kid Goku, but I'm glad they're coming to the game. Then next, in the final announcement here, they talk about updates to the Battle Pass. You know, before you just got to Tier 50 Battle Pass and you were done. You never really had to log back into the game except playing new characters. They're now adding essentially a prestige system where seemingly you can refresh these sets of rewards and get them over and over again. You can get Zenny, G capsules, P5G capsules, badge updates, which I imagine are prestige badges that will show you, hey, I prestige the Battle Pass like 5 times this season. And I think this is a great choice. You know, there's no reason to update or use the Battle Pass, because you would just get stuck in it. Once you hit level 50, you were done. So the fact that this actually lets you prestige is awesome. And because they're letting prestigious, they're now saying instead of a 12 hard locked missions you get weekly, you will now just instead get a bunch more missions weekly to help you beat or clear the Battle Pass faster and just prestige over and over and over again, which that's going to be incredibly helpful. Then they talk about the Squadra Blast Championship, which I'll make a separate video dedicated for it once the signups are live. But basically, there's going to be 4 stages, where the first and second stage, or the first stage is going to be available to everyone using the in-game tournament system. So think like the Gekishin Cup. I imagine it's going to be using the Squad Gekishin Cup system. If I can enter, I would. I don't know if I'll be able to. And seemingly there's going to be a second stage for the winners of the first stage. Then the third stage is going to be similar to Squadra Blast that we know about, where teams have to sign up and go against each other in a single elimination. Whoever wins that represents their region of South America, Asia, Europe, and North America, and a doubles elimination tournament and a free paid trip to Japan on August 23rd, which I imagine that's going to line up pretty closely to the first year anniversary. So pretty exciting stuff. You know, I'm glad that we're getting an offline tournament for Squadra. That's going to be awesome. And if you enter the first stage, you get, you know, Dragon Gems, some unique hit effects, P5G capsules, badges, borders, all the goodies. And then they talk about the Xenoverse 2 skins, which we thought would be coming for May 8th, May 9th, and seemingly they got delayed till Season 5. So I'll keep you guys updated once they eventually say more stuff about the Xenoverse skins. And with that, you know, they give out our code. I'll leave a link in the video to get you guys to a video that has the code very easily accessible. And that's everything for Season 5. I still can't believe Squeaky Hammers is back. Didn't get removed. I'm sure a lot of players are freaking about it. Hopefully they nerf his Divine Draw to the ground, because if there's another season of Squeaky Hammers doing everything it's still doing, a lot of players are going to be upset. That's what I'm mostly looking forward to now in these patch notes, is nerfing Squeaky Hammer, the fact that it's still in the game. Before we end the video, I'll show you my code for the background music. I'll leave a link to the 2 videos that we listened to in the description. Please check them out and give them some love. With that, that's everything for Season 5 of Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, at least for now, from the Season 5 Squadra Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. Stay tapped into the channel if you want to see everything Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, including pieces coverage, more videos on Final Form Frieza, Kid Goku, and Bulma, as well as any other potential news you need to know for the game. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!